Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll rifle this one deep right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Deion Sanders up to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Hey, let's go! By 90! By 20!
On 3rd down, Vick out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle during the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. A nice little juke. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. In store. We'll head back to New Orleans after this. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jeremy Shockey, 56 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that. Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before you can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Vick. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
By 90! By 90!
A first down throw coming for Vic. This is caught. Gronkowski. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
By 20!
It'll be Vic once more. And his throw here is incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Again, it's Vic. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tyreek Hill. 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Hopkins, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the three-point shot. And people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close. Close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now a second down throw for Vic. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
When Tony Gonzalez makes catches, sometimes I feel bad, like it's almost routine. And that's really not what the deal is. This is a guy that has to work his way open on every play because he's such a featured guy. But he's also a guy that throughout his career, there's a little bit of a loyalty and a soft spot for Kansas City, his first team. When he went to Atlanta.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat.
And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Gets around him. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Vic now. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, Vic. His throw incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing, Vic. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation, and that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think...
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll run and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. LaDainian Tomlinson. .76 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the two-point try. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On second down, Vic again. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a third down. The Saints on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Vic. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time. Vic on 4th down. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gonzalez. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Vick to the air again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Vick on second down. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They call his number again. It's his sixth catch and a first down. Vick operating on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Gonzalez. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 6 there on first. Vick to throw it. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Saints on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Vick. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now out come the Steelers. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week.
the practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now.
It got his man complete. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Hopkins, an even 90 yards. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings.
Exactly.
There.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. One last shot for Michael Vick. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.
Hey everybody, it's the coach here in Orlando, getting you set for this edition of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one, between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oklahoma City Lancers. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime, but for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. But what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now on now is the punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now Sanders. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. They stay on the ground. Tomlinson. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Time for a break. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's going to and at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Well, they did the part they had to do. Quick throw got the 1st down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Blue 45.
They'll run. Tomlinson. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Back to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, the strength of Eifert. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. And now down to 14 as he spikes it to stop the clock. And that one goes in. Complete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that takes us from second to third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that